I'm Ted, and I play guitar and sing.
I play bass. I love you, Cole. And I'm Mike. I play the keys.
Our genre would be progressive, reggae, rock, dub,
Core.
Americana,
Core.
core.
Put core on the end of it.
No, reggae core. I don't know. Power reggae? That's a good one, too. Our history, real quick, we started in 2003. Me and Ted are the two, original members, and we met in college. Will's our third bassist. Mike's our second keyboard player. And here we are. So, I don't know.
That was abridged.
That was really fast.
And we did a lot of tours in between all that time.
Yep, and made some albums. We were,
typically how we come up with most of our decisions, but not this time.
Being here, let me see that. Man, you should actually aim the camera down on Tomorrow's Bad Seeds crawling across the floor right now. Pacifier is sort of it's an extension or the idea came from Catch a Fire, the Bob Marley album and song, and I mentioned that, and Nick was like, "There's no way we're naming our band after a Bob Marley song. That's a little too cliche. It's a little bit too, it's just too heady, too irie." So we were just like, "All right, well, let's go back to the drawing board." And we went through and I don't know. I just mentioned we might have been drunk, but I was like, "What about Pacifier?" And everybody was like the thing you suck on? No, definitely not. And then later on, we were looking at our list, and we were like, actually, that's probably the best one on the list. Let's go with that. And oh man, Mystic Mindset, which sounds so hippy dippy, but it's actually from a British rapper's song. It's like a lyric from Roots Manuva. You familiar? He's awesome. It's a bad name though.
I wish we had the list somewhere. We don't.
Early on, we all had a collective shared influence with John Brown's Body. It's actually from the Boston area. And actually, they're coming out to hang out tonight, so that's kind of a full circle right there. Their music, as far as reggae goes, they were pushing it in new directions that excited us, and we obviously felt comfortable playing reggae, but wanted to take it other places just like they were. So it's kind of like John Brown's Body and on the bottom, and then we threw on all of our crazy rock, metal, electro, folk influences on top of that.
These two, Nick and Will, are very influenced by Humphreys McGee, and Nick got me into Humphreys McGee in college, and I know that Mike is a big fan as well. They're extremely technically proficient and just really awesome musicians, as well as Fish and other bands in that sort of genre, and I think we do take a lot of influence from that. Even though we're not a jam band, we do take a lot of influence from those bands because of their musicality and their technicality. Right, mix it with the reggae that we listen to, Clash, 311, all that.
Me as a keyboardist, usually jam bands typically showcase their keyboardists a lot, and which is why me growing up, I definitely listened to a lot of Fish, Widespread Panic, String Cheese. And ultimately using all those skills and using it with, being influenced by those keyboardists, and then fusing it with reggae ultimately kind of created my own style, which in a way fits really well with Pacifier, because seeing that I am the newest member, I just joined a year ago. So I joined January 20th of last year, 2011. So I'm just a little over a year right now. So
7 o'clock that day.
yeah, once we hit the stage at like 10 or 11, and that's when it officially started. So yeah.
In San Antonio, Texas, a fight broke out, which usually doesn't happen at our shows. Pretty peaceful fans usually, but a fight broke out in like the front row of one of our shows, and it's the first and only time that we've ever actually like stopped the show and said, "Look, you can't do that at our show. I'm sorry." Yeah, we stopped the song and we told them to get out, and then they kicked out the guy who was getting beat up, who like didn't start the fight. And then the guys who did start the fight started another fight later on, and I was just like, what the hell is wrong with San Antonio? And everybody's like, it's not us, it's just these assholes. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, it was just those guys. San Antonio is awesome every time, but like that one night, it was pretty crazy. There was like 2 fights in the crowd during like smooth reggae songs. It didn't make any sense.
We did get to open for Van Halen one time. That was crazy, and that was surreal. You can't beat that.
I'd say, I guess in general, on Warped Tour, we inherited we inherited a roommate for a good 2 weeks, and it happened to be Angelo Moore of Fishbone. For him being someone that we all looked up to, it was in a way surreal waking up and him being on our bus, just like with all like, it's like, oh, there's Angelo doing his thing. It's just like,
to him, like blasting music. At
yeah,
6 a.m.
it's, I mean,
In the bunk right above me, I was like, Angelo.
he's legendary. He actually was, or Fishbone was just on Jimmy Kimmel on Monday night too. Like they're still rocking. Like they've been around for quite some time, and he's got it. Well, it was
We had an open bunk.
yeah.
He was a stone away.
Kevin Lyman Warped Tour was like, which one of you younger reggae rock bands would like to take this legend, Angelo Moore, on the road? And we were like, yeah, let's do it. And it was crazy for me because I grew up, my older brothers are all obsessed with Fishbone. So I grew up in a family that was just like Fishbone all the time. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting on a bus drinking coffee at 9 a.m. every day with the lead singer of this band that my brothers are just absolutely obsessed with. Yeah, he did. He played sax with us for one song for a kilo on stage. I called my brother one day and he was like, dude, is Angelo near you right now? I was like, yeah. He's like, I want him to talk to my daughter. And I gave the phone to Angelo and he talked to my niece for like 10 minutes. It was weird. It was cool. It was weird.
Yeah, it was definitely an honor to be out on the Warped Tour. It's the biggest festival of the summer, the only kind, only touring festival of its kind, and definitely coming back out of the road this fall and this winter, we've seen every show somebody's, oh man, I saw you here at Warped Tour, I saw you there, it was awesome. I'd never seen you before that day, and now they're coming out to our shows here. So.
Mentally and physically, it prepared us for just about any other tour. Like, if you can go through the whole Warped Tour, you can pretty much do anything as far as touring.
Climb Mount Everest.
Yeah, so yeah, so as far as me, like, being fresh into the whole touring life, going through that and then going on the fall tour last fall, which was 2 months as well, like, in a way, it was just like, all right, just back on the road. But this time we're not in the sun for 9 hours at a time with 100-degree weather, especially like Phoenix, which was like, what, 110? That was ridiculous. Yeah.
Hey, this is Passafire, and you're listening to Gag Order Radio.
All right.